Hey everyone, welcome back to CT Fulcrum. In today's video, we will be discussing how the First Jedi Padawan Massacre really happened. One of Darth Vader's darkest deeds was butchering the younglings hiding in the Jedi Temple during Order 66. But while that deed may have signaled the end of the Jedi Order, it was not the first time a group of Padawans were killed by a rogue Jedi. The full story begins like this. In the year 3964 BBY, approximately 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, the Jedi Order was strong and had not yet encountered their ancient enemies the Sith for quite some time. Unbeknownst to the rest of the Order, however, a secret faction within it, called the Jedi Covenant, had been formed to prevent the Sith from ever returning to threaten the galaxy or the Order. Comprised of the members belonging to the Jedi Watch Circle, a group of Jedi who had the ability to see the future. Lucien Dre, Feln, Canilia, Rana Te, and Zamar made up this group, vowing to use their gifts to ensure that the Sith would never rise again. But when their visions showed them a horrifying and traumatic future, the five of them conspired to do something that would make them a little better than the Sith, killing their own Padawans. The Masters had accepted their Padawans begrudgingly, preferring to focus on their current assignment, but when their students' training was nearly complete, 4 of them had visions depicting their deaths, the ruination of the Jedi Order, and the end of the Republic. One common thread in all the visions was a figure in a red suit. Believing this individual to be a Sith, and realizing that all of their Padawans wore similar outfits, they leaped to the conclusion that one of them must fall to the dark side in the future. Deciding then and there to lure the Padawans into a trap, the 4 of them set up a banquet, pretending that only one of the Padawans would be knighted so that they could kill them all. But the plan went awry quickly. One of the Padawans, Zane Carrick, was late to the gathering, and when the Master's intentions became suspect, the 4 of them struck, slaying their Padawans. Zane managed to escape the 4 Masters when he found the bodies, prompting the group to blame him for the botched assassination attempt and to place a bounty on his head. While Zane traveled the galaxy to learn more about the Jedi Covenant and prove his innocence, the Covenant's attempt to capture him had unforeseen consequences. Frustrated with their inability to capture Zane and believing they should have sensed the darkness within him, the Jedi Council resigned the Masters to separate postings, effectively disbanding the group they had no idea existed right beneath their noses. With no way to work together to share visions across the span of space, the group became defunct. But, in an ironic twist, their visions ended up coming true. Rana Te was killed on Taris during the Mandalorian invasion of the world. The Covenant's murder of the Padawans had convinced the Council to remove any and all Jedi presence from the planet, giving the Mandalorians the courage to attack it. Feln later attempted to kill Zane, but the battle resulted in him destroying a holy place and village belonging to his own people. Outraged, Feln was killed by them while Zane slipped away. Seeing their visions coming true, Zamar tried to change fate once again, having learned nothing from the entire disaster. Informing the Jedi Council of the Covenant and what they had done, Zane's name was cleared, but Zamar was later killed when Sol Karath opened fire on him from his ship, fulfilling his vision. Finally, Canilia saw her master and mother figure was dead. Having lost her friends, and any standing with the Jedi, Canilia killed herself. To add insult to injury, as Canilia lay dying from her wound, Zane's traveling companion, Man Hieroglyph, realized that he was the sinister figure from their visions. He had been there for all the Masters' deaths and had in fact worn the suit they saw in their visions. Canilia died, realizing what they had feared was never a Sith to begin with, and that their attempt to save the Jedi and Republic had been what doomed it in the first place. As for Lucien Dre, having not been a part of the visions of the future, he disappeared, knowing he would have to pay for his crimes. Zane himself chose not to return to the Jedi Order, having become disillusioned with it. He instead went into business with Man. Ultimately, the Jedi Covenant's attempt to stop the return of the Sith made them just as cruel as the enemy they feared, and allowed the Sith to return only after the war they had enabled to happen. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this original Jedi Padawan massacre? And until next time, the Force will be with you. Always.